Hello everyone, my name is Fion. This presentation is an analysis of a research paper titled Brainwaves and Higher Order Thinking, an EEG study of cognitive engagement in mathematics tasks, written by Mohammed and Saleh in 2025. So what do we learn from this paper? The research paper highlighted that many Malaysian students struggle with higher order thinking skills in mathematics. Despite this being a key goal of their curriculum, the research gap is that traditional assessments like tests or observation only tell educators what students get wrong, but they don't tell them how the students are struggling cognitively. So the aim of the study was to use EEG or electroencephalography to find objective neural correlation of cognitive engagement. They wanted the scientific proof that what students' brains were doing when faced with challenges math problems. Let's check out some key concepts. HOTS, which stands for Higher Order Thinking Skills. HOTS is what you use when you have to analyze a complicated situation, evaluate which plan is the best, create something new and innovative, apply what you have learned to a real-world problem. How do we measure this kind of complex thinking? That's where our second concept comes in, EEG. EEG is a non-invasive tool, measures your brain's electrical activity in real time. It gives us clues about your cognitive state. We can get insights into things like how focused you are, how much mental effort you're putting in, whether you're relaxed or mentally checked out, how efficiently you are solving a problem. So HOT is the complex thinking we want to study, and EEG is the tool we can use to see the thinking in action. When we use EEG, we see different types of brain waves. Beta waves is the 13 to 30 Hz frequency, a high frequency wave. It's like your brain's go mode. When you see strong beta waves, it means the person is in the zone, which means actively concentrating, reasoning logically, and solving problems efficiently. Next is the alpha waves. The frequency is 8 to 12 Hz. This is a slower, more relaxed wave. Alpha is a bit of a two-sided coin. In a calm setting, it means relaxation. But in the learning or working context, high alpha is like the brain's neutral or idling gear. It can signal that someone is zoning out, is disengaged, or might even be feeling anxious. Their attention has drifted away from the task. Theta waves. This is the frequency about 4 to 7 Hz. A slow brainwave. High theta is a clear sign of cognitive overload. It's like the brain's engine is straining and working too hard. It means that person is putting in a lot of mental effort, but their working memory is overwhelmed. They are struggling to keep up. How did the researchers conduct this study? They recruited 24 14-year-old Form 2 secondary students. These participants were first categorized into high, moderate, and low achievers based on their existing math scores. The students were then divided into two groups. First one is an experimental group that was given complex hot math tasks. Second one is a control group that was given standard, non-hot tasks. To measure this brain activity, an 8-channel EEG was used. This device recorded specific brain waves like beta, alpha, and theta in different areas of the brain, including the frontal, parietal, and occipital regions. The research found out that different achievement levels showed distinct cognitive profiles. The brain activity varied significantly based on how well the student performed. High achievers, these students display strong beta waves in frontal lobe. This signifies efficient executive functions that are highly focused and logical reasoning. They were successfully engaging their brains to solve the hard problem. Moderate achievers, they show a mix of alpha and beta waves in the occipital region, which is the visual part of the brain. This suggests they rely heavily on visual spatial processing to solve the math problems. Low achievers, this group showed high theta waves in the frontal lobe, Critically, high theta waves indicate significant cognitive overload and working memory strain. Their brains were essentially overwhelmed by difficulty of the task. From the findings, we saw that students with different achievement levels were not just getting different scores, their brains were operating in different ways. Higher achievers' brains show strong activity in the area of focus and logic. They were efficiently locked in. And moderate achievers' brains showed a lot of activities in the visual processing area at the back of the head. That means they were thinking very visually. It's like they were trying to solve the problem by building a mental map or a picture in their mind. They were working hard by using a different strategy. And for those low achievers' brain, they show a clear signal of overload in the frontal part of the brain. This is the most important takeaway. Their brains were not lazy or inactive. They were working too hard and overheating. It's like a computer with too many programs open, starting to slow down and freeze. They were not disengaged. They were overwhelmed. This shows us that performance isn't just about effort, it's about the strategy and capacity of the brain itself. So, what we actually discover when we put this idea together, when people did hard tasks, their brain showed a very different pattern compared to what they were doing simple routine tasks. What's the big takeaway from all of this? Our study researched a few powerful conclusions. Number one, we can measure thinking objectively. We don't have to just guess if a student is engaged. We can see the signs in their brain waves. Number two, students use different brain strategies. A higher achieving student and a low achieving student might look at the same from the outside, but their brain are tackling the same problem in different ways. Number three, struggling is often about overload, not laziness. We find out that low performance is frequently linked to high theta waves, the signature of cognitive overload. It's not that the student is not trying, it's that their brain is literally overwhelmed and straining to keep up. We now have the brain-based evidence that a one-size-fits-all approach doesn't work because students' brains are literally processing information differently. Can we apply this neuroscience research to early childhood education or ECE in a context like Hong Kong? We must exercise great caution. A direct application for these specific findings to ECE is problematic and risky. Why? First is the age difference. Because the study was conducted on 14-year-old students, but ECE serves children from 3 to 6, and their brain are at different developmental stages. Number two, task difference. The original study involved abstract secondary level maths, while Hong Kong ECE focuses on play-based holistic learning. Three, the risk of neural myth. Applying this science directly use EEG on young children is a neural myth. It's an oversimplification of a very complex science. While we cannot transfer the specific wave findings, but we can certainly transfer the core principles supported by this research. And these principles align perfectly with our ECE curriculum. Principle 1, cognitive load is real. The finding that how low achievers experience frontal theta waves is a scientific proof of something ECE teachers already observed. Children get overloaded. This explains the frustration we see when a task becomes too long or too complex for a child. Principle 2, different learners, different profiles. The study objectively confirms that people are processing information differently. This supports the observation that in ECE, some children are verbal learners, while others are visual learners or spatial builders. Principle 3, scaffolding is brain-friendly. The paper validates the importance of tailored instruction. Providing support or scaffolding is scientifically sound because it helps to reduce cognitive load and build necessary connections, validating ideas like Vygotsky's Zone of Proximal Development, ZBT. This analysis provides a powerful scientific argument against J&Q academic in the early years. The Hong Kong ECE curriculum emphasized holistic development, not just HOTS in one specific subject. Now, I'd like to share my personal experience and reflection with this assignment. Simplifying the research paper's neuroscience jargon for educators is a challenge for me, but I learned that the true connection between neuroscience and education is not just about brain-based tricks, which are often missed, but rather that neuroscience offers scientific evidence to support effective teaching principles. This also enhanced my understanding how important the critical thinking is while we are applying these research findings to our Hong Kong ECE contest. This concludes my presentation. Thanks for watching.